Let's get started with this. This weekend, France was supposed to come together as a nation. There, amid the historic splendor of the Champs-Élysées, the people of France, together with their leaders, were supposed to mark the storming of the Bastille, right? Who didn't read about this in grammar school, or at least in high school? I mean, this is the act that triggered the French Revolution. We all know about it. Instead, what happened in Paris this weekend looked at times like a new modern version of the Bastille storming, ironically enough. And yet the media, ironically enough, seems to be ignoring this story. So the people of France are obviously not happy with their government right now, and they are taking to the streets to show their anger in no small fashion, by the way. Suffice it to say that if the people of Venezuela, or any country that our government opposes right now, pick your country, we're having violent mass demonstrations, oh my God, right? Fox News, CNN, every single network would be leading their coverage with it, and the Trump administration would right now be threatening to intervene militarily. But instead, what we hear about Paris is crickets. Not here. RT correspondent Charlotte Dubinsky is there in the streets of Paris.
Of revolution here on the Champs-Élysées from the protesters, many of whom seem to have come here from that call from the Gilets jaunes to protest on this Bastille Day, 230 years on from the French Revolution. Just wanted to get you to look in the background. The protesters have been moving the barriers that were used to contain the crowds this morning for the military parade into the middle of the street, trying to block it from traffic. Palpable anger and tension on the streets, and we've seen clashes across Paris in this area around the Champs-Élysées throughout the Bastille Day. Some of the protesters are actually encouraging other protesters to come up closer to them now, I guess to show a strength of force of numbers. The tension rising, and that is tear gas or stun grenades. No, that's stun grenades going off that I think are now coming down from the security forces who are further up that street. As you can see, that cordon created there by the police, who are essentially also trying to protect themselves for what is an angry mob. Another angry mob. Is this the start of the revolution? That's what the yellow vests want. So far, it hasn't quite managed that. This is the tear gas that's now being deployed. As you can see, people are trying to kick it away, and we will have to move back at this point because that tear gas is very nasty. And it spreads very, very quickly. So more clashes here in Paris, tear gas being deployed. Well, we've also been speaking to some of the protesters today to get a sense of why they are continuing this fight, why the Gilets jaunes movement that many thought was over seems to have gained a little more traction today, at least in the capital.
I would sack everyone. Macron, Ecology Minister de Rugy, everyone. We are trying to get them all sacked, and we'll see what happens.
We have to protest over the right to survive. It's hard. I'm not happy with the Macron government because we're under the cosh. The Yellow Vest movement is legitimate, whether we're wearing a yellow vest or not. We're really being messed about in France.
This is about all the reforms which Mr. Macron is doing. The emergency services are striking, firefighters are striking, the hauliers will surely strike. So the French people are sick of it. The movement is never finished. Mainstream media are lying to the French people and even to Europe.
We always want to have something to eat in our fridge, like normal people. We need a salary to feel like we're living, and we can't live off the sweat of our labor. Can they explain to us why these taxes and everything keep growing? Petrol, electricity, water. Us, yellow vests, are still angry. We'll remain. We can't stop this. I've been fighting for 8 months to make ends meet.
Wow. So you haven't heard that we're the ones covering the stories that you won't see covered anywhere else? In Venezuela, Kazakhstan, let's go to Hong Kong. And the media reaction to that has been crickets. How about the way we cover those stories? What the hell does that mean? Wally, Wally, Wally. That's the key word in this case, uprising. Keep? Can you believe that? Watching. This is the right thing for members of the media to do, to actually pick sides. Look, if you like what you see, subscribe.